All right, chapter 15, everybody. After today, we'll be 30% of the way through Genesis, so I'm sure you could just taste the end of the Bible. It's coming up, not at all soon. Hope you all had a lovely Easter, Good Friday weekend, and all that good business that goes with it. We're going to get back into the Bible here so that you can become more Christian. So Abram, if you recall, just went crazy and killed a bunch of people. He had good reason. He didn't just go crazy, but he did kill a lot of people. They deserved it. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision. So he just had it like a dream. This isn't really God saying, or maybe it was. He kind of implanted himself in his dreams. It's like Inception. Saying, "Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. So I will protect you, and I am the only reward you need. You don't need money or anything else that I could give you if I wanted to." And Abram said, "Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless?" So he just wants more. He's a little greedy. And the steward, and he's like, playing on his Lord's pity. He's like, "I don't have any kids. What do you do something for me?" And the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus. Apparently the Eliezer of Damascus has a bad reputation, because why else would he be complaining? And Abram said, "Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir." Abram said, "Oh, so you didn't give me any working semen, so I can't make babies, and there's one born in my house, and that's my son. So there is one born in his house that's his son, but he can't have kids." So this sounds like a case for Maury. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, "This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir." So this kid that you think is your son is not your son. However, I'm going to have a kid spring forth out of your bowels. So that is going to be one hell of a bowel movement, because you're going to have to shove an entire kid out of your bum. I don't know why the Lord was British at this time, but it seems about right. And he brought him forth abroad. So he didn't want to have that experience at home. He went abroad and said, "Look now toward heaven." Or maybe the Lord went abroad. "Look now toward heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them," which he knows he can't. "And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. You will have as many children as there are stars in the sky." That's not a good thing to hear from God. And they're all going to be from bowel movements too. So I would start eating less roughage if I were him. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. So he thinks this is even a good thing that he's doing for him. And he said unto him, "I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it." So I gave you all this land, so you are going to poop out some kids if I tell you to. And he said, "Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? How can you prove where the paperwork saying that this land is mine?" And he said unto him, "Take me an heifer of 3 years old," that's like a cow, "and a she-goat," a female goat, "of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon." So he's making like a potion. God has to make this potion to draw up the paperwork. "And he took unto him all of these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against," so he cut all the animals up, and laid them one against each other. "But the birds divided he not," because he was trying to stay away from poultry. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses," so the birds he didn't split up, the birds came down, ate the pieces of animal, Abram drove them away, because he didn't know that was what God had commanded. "And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him." It's just the night, Abram. Chillax, dude. Horror of great darkness. Wow, that's overreaction. "And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs." This is getting very wordy. God said to Abram, know for sure that your kids will be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. Okay, so your kids are going to live somewhere else, and they're not going to know where the hell they are, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Seed shall be a stranger. Who's going to serve who? And what are they afflicted with? We'll read on. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, so that wherever they're landing, I will be the judge of that land. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. So they're going to be very confused and disoriented, but when they go through this whole affair, they're gonna have a lot more substance to them, and be better people for it. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. So you'll live long and prosper, and you'll die when you're very old, and then you'll go join your dad. This is up in heaven. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again. So your great-great-grandkids. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So the Amorites still have something to say about it. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, and it was dark, that horror that Abram underwent, behold, a smoking furnace, the gateway to hell probably, and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. I think somebody was definitely drinking when they wrote this chapter. This is all over the place. Behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp. Okay. Oh, so that it's you're not dark and you don't get so scared, you pussy. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed, to your kids, have I given this land, so it's all theirs, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, greater river, okay, and the Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Cadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgasites and the Jebusites. So those are all the Jebusites that are getting the land, and from the river to the river. So they own all that land now. That's the end of chapter 15. If you understood a fifth of that, I applaud you. Wow. Yeah, this is. Hopefully this is not getting progressively more confusing, because we'll be completely 100% lost in just a chapter or two if that's the case. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that things pick up and whoever was drinking doesn't write the next chapter.